Imagine this. One day you're just gone from someone's life. Not a slow fade, not a gentle step back, but a full-on disappearance. No texts, no calls, no trace of you anywhere. What happens in their world when you pull the ultimate vanishing act? How do they really feel when you're no longer there to answer their half-hearted messages or prop up their ego? In a society where people toss others aside like yesterday's news, it's time to flip the narrative. Disappear and watch their entire reality shift. Welcome to the most transformative journey you'll embark on today. Brought to you by WisdomWavesAura, your go-to channel for unlocking your inner strength and reclaiming your power. If you've ever been stuck in a relationship or situation where someone treated you like an afterthought, this is your wake-up call. We're diving deep into the 10 emotional stages someone goes through when you vanish from their life. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see why walking away is the ultimate flex. Ready to discover your worth? Ready to make them miss you in ways they never imagined? Drop "I'm done being an option" in the comments below on WisdomWavesAura. Because when we're done here, you'll never settle for less again. Stick around for a bonus 10th stage that'll blow your mind. And if you're ready to change how they see you forever, keep watching until the end. Let's dive in. Picture this. They're going about their day, smug in the belief that you'll always be there, waiting in the wings. You've been the one making the effort, sending the texts, planning the hangouts, pouring your heart into keeping things alive. Then without warning, you're gone. It's like a lightning bolt to their system. This is the first stage, the sting of rejection. They never thought you'd actually leave. In their mind, you were a constant, a reliable fixture they could lean on without ever giving back. But when you vanish, it's like yanking the rug out from under them. They're hit with a rejection so deep it shakes their core. It's not just about you being physically gone. It's about losing everything you represented. The comfort, the validation, the safety of knowing you'd always show up. Suddenly they're free-falling, realizing they've lost control. They thought they could take you for granted, toss you crumbs, and you'd still stick around. But now, they're left wondering how they let this happen. The sting hits hardest because they know deep down they've been coasting on your effort. They assumed you'd always be there, no matter how poorly they treated you. Maybe they even thought they were doing you a favor by keeping you around. The irony is rich. They thought they held the power, but you've just shown them who's really in charge. To make this stage hit like a freight train, don't give them a heads up. No ultimatums, no emotional goodbyes, no "we need to talk." Just disappear. Ghost them completely. When you vanish without explanation, it forces them to confront the void you've left behind, and trust me, it's a wake-up call they'll feel in their bones. Now that the initial shock has settled, they move into the second stage, the void of missing you. They didn't think they'd care this much, did they? They probably told themselves, if they leave, I'll be fine. I'll move on. But reality has other plans. Without you, their world feels off-kilter. You were the one who brought the energy, the warmth, the emotional glue that held things together. Now, their days feel like a monochrome version of what they used to be. They go through the motions, hanging, out with friends, scrolling through their phone, but something's missing. That something is you. The void isn't just an absence. It's a gnawing emptiness that grows with every passing day. They try to fill it with distractions, new people, new hobbies, maybe even a rebound. But nothing sticks. Why? Because no one else brings what you did to their life. You were unique, a spark they didn't appreciate until it was gone. They start missing the little things, the way you made them laugh, the late-night talks, the comfort of knowing you were just a text away. At WisdomWavesAura, we talk a lot about owning your value, and this is where it shines. Your absence highlights everything you brought to the table, and they're starting to realize they can't replace you. To amplify this stage, make yourself untouchable, block them on social media, delete their number, and go completely off their grid. The less access they have to you, the deeper that void grows. Every time they reach for their phone, hoping to see a trace of you, and find nothing, it's like a punch to the gut. Let them sit in that emptiness. Let them feel what life is like without your light. By now, they're spiraling into the third stage, Overwhelming curiosity. They're desperate to know where you are, what you're doing, who you're with. You've become a mystery, and nothing drives people crazier than the unknown. They're checking your Instagram, your TikTok, your X, anything for a glimpse of your life. But you've gone dark. No posts, no stories, no updates. It's like you've evaporated and it's pushing them to the edge. Their mind races with questions. Have you moved on? Are you happier without them? Are you with someone new? This curiosity isn't just casual, it's an obsession. They might even hit up mutual friends, fishing for info while trying to play it cool. Spoiler, they're not cool, they're unraveling. At WisdomWavesAura, we know that silence is your greatest weapon. The less they know, the more they crave answers. Their imagination becomes your ally, conjuring images of you thriving, laughing, living your best life without them. And that thought? It's torture. To keep this stage in overdrive, stay invisible. Don't post, don't engage, don't give them a single breadcrumb. Let their curiosity burn until it consumes them. They'll realize you're not just a part of their past, you're the one thing they can't stop thinking about. Things get heavier in the fourth stage, deep self-reflection. With you gone, and no answers to their burning questions, they're forced to turn inward. This is where the real work begins. For them, not you. They start asking themselves the tough stuff. Was I too distant? Did I take them for granted? Did I screw this up? The guilt creeps in like a slow poison. They replay every moment. They ignored your texts, brushed off your feelings, or treated you like an option. Without you there to smooth things over or make excuses for them, they're stuck facing their own flaws. It's not a fun place to be. They realize they had something real, something good, and they let it slip through their fingers. The deeper they reflect, the more they see how much they messed up. Maybe they thought they could do better, or maybe they just assumed you'd always be there. Either way, they're now grappling with the reality that they were the problem. This stage is powerful because it's all internal. They can't blame you anymore. You're not there to argue with or manipulate. They're left with nothing but their own thoughts, and those thoughts are brutal. At WisdomWavesAura, we believe in letting people learn their lessons the hard way. Don't reach out. Don't explain why you left. Let them sit with their regret and figure out what they lost. The longer they reflect, the clearer it becomes. They pushed away someone incredible. Now we hit the fifth stage, the urge to pursue you. The tables have officially turned. You were once the one chasing, caring, trying to keep things alive. Now, they're the ones scrambling. They can't stop thinking about you, and that urge to win you back is overwhelming. You'll see it in the, "Hey, just checking in" texts, the likes on your old posts, maybe even a late-night message after one too many drinks. They're trying to claw their way back into your life, hoping it's not too late. But here's the thing. You hold all the cards now. They've gone from taking you for granted to realizing they can't live without you. At WisdomWavesAura, we're all about owning your power, and this is where you do it. Don't respond. Don't give them an inch. Let them chase. Let them beg. Let them feel the desperation of wanting something they no longer have. The more they pursue, the more they realize they've lost control. Their ego's in tatters, and that's exactly where you want them. Silence is your strongest move here. Don't reward their efforts with a response. You've worked too hard to reclaim your worth, and this is not the time to give it away. The sixth stage is a tug-of-war between relief and regret. When you first disappear, they might feel a fleeting sense of freedom. Finally, I don't have to deal with them, they tell themselves. They go out, swipe right a few times, post a few living my best life stories, and for a moment they think they're fine. But that high is an illusion, and it fades fast. When they're alone, scrolling through their phone or staring at the ceiling, the regret hits like a tidal wave. They realize that freedom without you is just emptiness. The new people they meet, they're shallow distractions. The parties, the hookups, the fleeting thrills, they don't fill the hole you left. They thought moving on would be easy, but you can't replace a real connection with a quick fix. At WisdomWavesAura, we know that true value shines in absence. Let them feel that regret. Don't rush back when they start sending those "I miss you" vibes. They need to learn that the life they thought they wanted without you is nothing compared to what they had. Let them drown in the realization that they traded something real for a mirage. By the 7th stage, they're desperate to regain control, so they resort to playing games. They post cryptic statuses, flaunt photos with other people, or act distant to make you jealous. It's all a ploy to reel you back in, to make you wonder if they've moved on. But here's the kicker. You're done with their games. You've outgrown the drama, the manipulation, the petty tactics. You don't even notice their attempts to provoke you, and that drives them up the wall. They're throwing everything at you, subtle digs, over-the-top social media posts. But it's falling flat because you're not engaging. At WisdomWavesAura, we teach that the best way to win a game is to refuse to play. Ignore their posts. Don't react to their antics. The moment you stop responding, they lose all power. They're left flailing, realizing their tricks don't work anymore. Your indifference is their worst nightmare, and it's beautiful to watch. The 8th stage is where your silence becomes a weapon. The crushing weight of silence. Your absence speaks louder than any argument ever could. They're used to the noise of a relationship, the texts, the calls, even the fights. But now, there's nothing. No notifications, no updates, just deafening silence. It's torture for someone who's used to having control. They expect you to reach out, to beg for answers, to give them something to work with. But when you don't, they spiral. Every minute without a word from you feels like an eternity. They start replaying every time they ignored you, every time they left you on read, and now they'd give anything for a single text from you. In a world of constant communication, your silence is a power move. At WisdomWavesAura, we know that silence isn't just golden, it's dynamite. Don't break it. Don't explain yourself. Let them feel the weight of their own actions in the quiet. They'll realize that losing you is worse than any fight they could have had. The 9th stage is where fear takes over. They're terrified they've lost you for good. For so long they were comfortable, assuming you'd always be there, no matter how they treated you. But now you're gone, and the thought of you moving on, with someone new, laughing, thriving, makes them sick. They're not worried about their pride anymore. They're scared of a future without you. This fear drives them to do things they swore they'd never do. They'll send long, heartfelt messages, maybe even show up begging for a second chance. They'll apologize, promise to change, anything to keep you from slipping away forever. But here's the truth. By the time they're this scared, you're already gone. You've found your strength, your independence, and you don't need them anymore. At WisdomWavesAura, we believe in letting people face the consequences of their actions. Don't give in just because they're scared. They need to learn that you're not an option to be taken for granted. Let them sit with their fear. It's a lesson they'll never forget. Finally, we reach the 10th stage, the bonus that ties it all together. The realization of your emotional independence. This isn't just about them. It's about you. When you disappear, you're not just walking away from them. You're walking toward your own freedom. You've spent so long trying to prove your worth, to make them see your value, that you forgot your own power. But now, you see it clearly. You don't need their validation, their attention, or their approval. You've reclaimed your space, your peace, and your happiness. This is your emotional independence, and it's the most liberating thing you'll ever experience. The best part? They feel it too. They sense that you've changed, that you're stronger, wiser, untouchable. They realize you've outgrown them, and it hits them like a ton of bricks. They're stuck in their old patterns, chasing validation, while you've broken free. At WisdomWavesAura, we're all about embracing your inner power, and this is your ultimate victory. Don't go back. Don't give them the satisfaction of thinking they still matter. You've moved beyond their reach, and that's your greatest win. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You're already ahead of the game. You've proven you're someone who seeks depth, wisdom, and growth, just like we champion at WisdomWavesAura. Subscribe and join our community to keep unlocking your potential. You're not an option, you're a force. Keep shining, keep thriving, and never look back.